Now, in a previous show, you may have heard me run down the latest rumors on the arrival of a possible touchscreen on MacBooks. In Business Insider, Michael Gartenberg, an ex-Apple executive, wrote about having an iPad Pro and having multiple iPads in the past 10 years. His iPad used to be his go-to on trips, more so than his laptop, but not anymore. He says his iPod is in a spot between failing and succeeding, and Apple must pay careful attention. In his damning essay earlier this month, he says that much has changed in the smartphone world, and the most important part of the iPad has not kept up. Today, he uses a Galaxy Z Fold 4, which transforms from a 6.1-inch smartphone into a 7.8-inch tablet, about the size of an iPad mini. And he has a MacBook Air, which has spectacular performance and battery life, according to him. The way he sees it, one of the iPad's biggest issues is that its hardware is increasingly overpowered relative to the apps available for the device. Every new iPad is faster and better, but the apps just don't live up to Apple's claims of desktop class, quality, and quantity. Another major issue he has is that the user interface based on iOS has become increasingly complicated over time. Every iOS release from Apple has more features, making it more powerful, but also more complex. This has made it hard for users to locate the features they need, resulting in confusion and sometimes more than a little irritation. Gartenberg gives the example of the iPad supporting a wide variety of gestures, including swipes, pinches, and taps that can be used to navigate and interact with apps. But many users find these gestures difficult to learn, and they're not evident unless you get extra help or guidance beyond the iPad's instructions. Another example he cites is Stage Manager. The iPad's new showcase feature for multitasking isn't even turned on by default. It's hidden away, and to his mind, for good reason. He claims it's difficult to use, and he would need to write a full-length review to describe just how truly awful his experience with it has been. Strong stuff. He believes that the rumors of an upcoming MacBook with touchscreen reinforces the idea of the iPad being a second-class device, even the Pro versions. His view is that a touchscreen MacBook would make the iPad practically obsolete. Virtually anything one can do now on an iPad would be possible on a Mac, while the reverse would not be true. The iPad's great for web browsing and streaming, but when it comes to getting stuff done, the touchscreen MacBook would be seen as the better, preferable option. An iPhone with its large screen is great for consuming media, and it's more portable than the iPad. And that might just perhaps explain the transition towards the iPhone 14 Plus and away from the Mini. Maybe. If Apple wants to continue to succeed with the iPad, Gartenberg thinks it needs to address these challenges head on. That may mean simplifying the iOS user interface, investing more in the development of iPad-specific apps, and focusing on its internal software to better leverage the strengths of the iPad's hardware. What are your thoughts about the iPad? Still your go-to device for productivity? Or have you ventured out of the Apple ecosystem to get things done, or to do other things, or even to do things differently? Be sure to drop me a line or a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I've thought about this a little myself, to the point where I'll be paying close attention to those touchscreen MacBook rumors, especially as M-series apps for the iPad would work on those. Because perhaps when push comes to shove, I'd probably go for a touchscreen MacBook over an iPad Pro, especially if I could flip it over and I could use the Apple Pencil with it.